I think the main power engine of my journey would be social media. In the journey, I think the key factor has been consistency.
Ah, consistency, as you rightly said. I've read your articles as well. Authenticity and consistency.
People could see the real Falguni, and when I was talking very raw, very unfiltered, it's okay. But if you want to be a personal brand, consistency is needed. You need to show up every single day. Quick advice is firstly, they don't understand the platform uniqueness
in your creator journey.
So being shy and fear of judgment are altogether two different. So for example, you can do voiceovers.
Okay.
You can do running images and voiceovers. You can do text carousels and convert it into a reel, right? You can do landscape videos and create text on it and talk about it. So there are a number of ways of not showing your face, but still using your voice for the connect pages. But your personal handle, you should never delegate.
Okay.
Never ever.
In 2025, almost everyone has content, but very few have a brand. We spend hours picking filters, chasing likes, and tweaking captions, yet still feel invisible, replaceable, or stuck in the algorithm's mood swings. Today's episode is for everyone who's ever thought, मैं जो हूँ, जो सोचता हूँ, can that really become my personal brand? Can I show up as I am? Age, body, accent, everything, and still grow? To decode this, I have invited someone who lives this every single day. She's a professor of marketing at MICA, a TEDx speaker, content creator, and one of India's most loved voices on personal branding, body positivity, gender equality, and woman empowerment. Her Instagram community has grown purely on authenticity, consistency, and courage. No gimmicks, no shortcuts. On the point today, we are going from likes to legacy. Building a meaningful personal brand online, how to turn attention into trust and trust into real opportunities in your career, business, and life. Welcome to On the Point, Dr. Falguni.
Thank you so much.
I've been literally waiting for this conversation to happen because India's students, parents, and even early stage entrepreneurs are actually waiting for a master class without any filter, very candid master class on personal branding. Okay. And especially from a person who actually walked the talk.
Yes.
So let's start our journey on this particular episode. And I'm sure this is going to be a wonderful episode. So if I may ask you about something about your personal journey, if I ask you 5 years ago, what went right, what went wrong, what was the personal branding for you? I'm sure, at that time you had no clue or maybe had some clue. So what would you like to share?
Sure. I think the main power engine of my journey would be social media, because before the advent of social media, we did not have platforms to publish. Our knowledge or our access was still our geographical reach, or social reach, which was 5 to 6 kilometers of radius in everybody's life. So I think ever since social media came in, it became my personal billboard. And my personal billboard to publish areas that I was passionate about, like women empowerment, gender equality, body positivity, and fashion. So I think 6 to 7 years back is when I started this conscious journey of creating content in these typical areas, and I started getting known for it. People started looking up to me for those areas, and that authenticity started developing. And I think consistently since last 8 years, I've been creating content across platforms, Instagram being my most affiliate platform, as I say, most favorite platform. And the kind of videos that I create on these topics have made these areas synonymous to my personal brand. So that has been the journey. I think the key factor has been consistency.
Consistency, as you rightly said. I've read your articles as well. Authenticity and consistency.
Yes.
These are the two things. So from classroom to creator journey, I'm sure you must have also gone through some experience.
Definitely.
Some good, some bad, some harshest. So do you remember what was the harshest comment you received when you started posting on?
Yeah. See, being a public figure and having a public open page on social media, so from classroom to content, as you rightly said,
Yeah.
as it comes with its pluses and minuses, right?
Yeah.
So the pluses are your followers, love of your audience, the respect that you get, the motivation that they give you every single day to keep performing. But there are cons as well. So the bad side of it is trolling. A lot of people will not agree to it because I speak on things which will make people uncomfortable, like feminism, equality in this age, dignity of human beings, acceptance of people as who they are, giving the right to people to live by their choices. And it doesn't make everybody like my content. So there'll be people who will be disturbed with these harsh questions that I keep asking through my content. And that's why there has been some sort of trolling, like every content creator would have faced. I also faced, and some sort of abuses. But then I think if you grow as a content creator, you also grow up with coping mechanism.
Right.
So you find out your own frameworks to deal with this, and I have found mine.
Sure. If it is not very uncomfortable for you, any particular experience you'd like to share with our audience,
Yes.
which made you that I'm not shrinking, I'm becoming more louder?
Yeah. So, for example, there was this content which was body shaming people, and I challenged that content by remixing that reel. And the person who created the body shaming content didn't take it very positively. And I was very positive in my remix. I was not abusing, disrespecting. I was just putting my perspective there, right? And this person took it personally. Somehow on the internet, everything is searchable. So she found my personal number and she released my mobile number on the internet to her followers. And throughout the night, I have got some 300, 400 calls on my mobile phone. And of course, I was blocking all of them. But then I reached out to the cyber police. I filed a complaint and I managed it. And I understood that because of somebody's wrongdoing, I will not shrink or I will not make my profile private because this is my safe space. And I believe in what I say. So I think you only grow with these experiences. They will, of course, make you uncomfortable. They'll make you a little scared also because we all are humans at the end of the day. And your privacy also matters in these cases. So I think for a while, but I think with a lot of support from my family who stood by me like a rock, that come what may, we are there. We know you're not doing anything wrong. So I think I could ride over that challenging phase. And I think from there, I have found this framework. If with your permission, I can share. So always people tell me, how do you deal with trolls, abusers, people who come and just right away, they're there just to insult. So I follow the 3C model, which is converse, communicate, and cut the crap.
Wonderful.
Okay, so first I converse. I try to understand their point of view. Then I communicate. So I communicate my point of view because it is good to agree to disagree. It's good to have discussions. We are the argumentative Indian, right? So we like to argument. It's okay. So sometimes I also learn from my followers' comments and all. So there's no harm in conversing, communicating till you are respectful of each other. But the moment you are disrespectful, I just block people, cut the crap. So maybe the number of followers I have, I would have a similar list like the number of people I have blocked.
Really?
Yes, but I will not shrink. I will not give them access to my content because they don't deserve it. So converse, communicate, and cut the crap.
Wonderful. So C Cube, I will tell my audience to
Cube framework. Yes.
Wonderful. Excellent.
Yes.
Excellent. So can you just describe the exact moment you felt this is not just a random post anymore or posting anymore? You become a personal brand. So you remember that?
I think I do remember. It was around COVID. So let us say 4-5 years back.
Okay.
4-5 years back when Instagram, if you remember, had just introduced Reels.
Yes, that's good.
Until that time, Instagram was just a photo sharing app.
Yes.
Now, the moment Reels was launched, it became a video sharing platform.
Yes.
And I'm better with videos than just posting photos. Of course, I love photos.
Okay.
I posted lots of photos and I still do. But I love talking on camera. And I think that's where my journey started.
Wonderful.
People could see the real Falguni. And, where I was talking very raw, very unfiltered. I still don't use any editing apps, right? I still don't go and, cut the flaws because it is human to flaw, right?
Absolutely.
So if I'm mispronouncing a word, I will let it go and I'll again pronounce it.
Yeah.
But I'll keep both where I've mispronounced and I've read the pronounce. So it's okay. So people saw that raw, rugged, the natural force with which I was speaking. And I think authenticity is what takes you ahead. So whatever I was speaking, I was believing it first. So if I'm talking about body confidence as a fat woman in this society, they could see the confidence in me where I was walking the talk, right? With whatever I wanted to wear, or the green and blue lipsticks for which I am famous for, or whether I was talking about women empowerment, they could see that I'm actually doing it myself. I myself have evolved from, certain misconceptions or mental conditioning that we all grow up to, and I've myself challenged it for my own existence, right? So I think that's where the whole journey started, and that's where I started getting more people following me, talking to me, writing to me, appreciating my work, getting motivated and actually making changes in their lives. And I think that is the moment I feel I've arrived.
Yeah, right.
Because if your words and your action can help someone become a better person.
Absolutely.
So it was something as small as a homemaker writing that, oh, till date I never made something food which was my favorite. Now I've started making my favorite food also once a week. I will not sacrifice my friends for my family. So small things to bigger things like career, relationships, seeing red flags. People started writing back so much that I think I understood what I was doing was worth it. And I should continue doing it.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. It's very, very interesting and very heartwarming insight, honestly, to understand. So let's understand a little bit about your secret sauce as weekly operating system. I'm just throwing up now. Suppose tomorrow your favorite to Instagram and Instagram is favorite to you. Suppose they decide to cut India off. And this goes away. So what would be your formula or a weekly operating system to start all over again? Say what is going to be your 90 days program from 0 to whatever number of followers.
So I'll keep the enthusiasm same.
Okay.
Because see, enthusiasm gives you consistency. So if you're enthusiastic about what you are doing, you will never feel short of time.
Correct.
You will never feel, oh, in this busy schedule, how will I get time to create content? Things which are favorite to you, you'll always give time. So firstly, I'll keep the enthusiasm alive, and I'll quickly find a turnaround platform, which is other than Instagram, maybe like YouTube, for example, maybe like a Facebook page, for example,
Or maybe your own website.
or maybe my own website, my own mobile app. Right? Which can take me to my audience. They can subscribe. They can download from a Play Store or an iOS, Apple Store, and they can get in touch with me. I will start writing more. Maybe I'll blog more. So I'll find an alternative. But secret sauce, I think, is enthusiasm, which brings energy, and energy brings consistency.
Makes sense. Yes. And then what about your weekly metrics, ma'am? I mean, in terms of, do you think followers are the only validation?
No. They are not a validation.
Okay.
In fact, not only they are not a validation, engagement is a validation. So it's followers versus engagement. If you see somebody having 500k followers, but every post has some 3-4 comments, has 50 likes, then that person has not been able to reach at all. There is no reach, there is no engagement. So the real validation comes from engagement. Does your audience find your content worthy enough to give their time to engage with you further? Now, engagement can be in terms of likes, the number of saves for your post, the number of comments, the number of shares, the number of questions raised, the number of things they have shared. So, for example, yesterday, I made a very simple reel on why do women, when they feel very angry and they have logic, start crying. Anger converts into tears. Why? Is there a socio-psychological conditioning behind it where women were never encouraged to raise their voices? So I was sharing my own experience कि ऐसा क्यों होता है, कि when I want to give logic, when I want to give 10-point Shark Tank kind of a pitch presentation in that anger mode, I start crying. Suddenly that person thinks that, oh, I'm weak and I'm crying, I have been hurt and I'm crying. So I asked my followers, do you experience the same thing? And then there are 400 comments on their experiences. That is my validation. Because they're resonating with my content. Even if they don't resonate, they'll give their point of view. But they resonate with what I'm talking. right? So engagement in social media is always your real validation.
Wonderful. So, do you think how much time actually took you to reach to that particular level?
I think lot of
Beginner like us.
no, lot of time. I think it is nothing comes. There are no shortcuts. And as a teacher, I do believe there are no shortcuts. Absolutely, you can do smart work, you can do hard work, but there are no shortcuts. Okay, so just as a point of beautiful coincidence, I was looking at my Instagram page, and it's been some 8 years that I've been on Instagram. And do you know how many number of posts I finished today? 6,001.
Wow.
8 years. So I calculated 8 years, 365 days per year, and it would lead to how many posts? That means on an average, I posted twice or thrice daily.
Daily. Okay. So that's the mantra yours.
That's the mantra. So mantra is again 3C. Sorry if I'm using CQ framework too much. So one is your content. If your content is good, you will grow. If your content is below average, gimmicky, or just follows fads and trends, you're not going to grow. You need to know your niche. Okay. So, like for example, Kabita's kitchen niche is she is a home chef. She's a cooking expert. But for example, for me, cooking may be a hobby. It's not the niche for which I want to be known for. So once in a while, I'll post stories on my cooking videos, but I'll never make my page a recipe page. Right?
Sure.
So you need to know your content well. The first C, content. Second C, the 6,000 post, consistency. Right? You cannot, if you want to exist casually, you can appear on Diwali and then on Holi. It's okay. But if you want to be a personal brand, consistency is needed. You need to show up every single day. Consistency matters, right? And the third C, conversations, which people forget.
Absolutely.
In the whole world, in the whole enthusiasm of content, people forget that this is not snail mail. This is a two-way, interactive,
Absolutely.
engagement-driven platform. So you have to discuss in comments. You have to answer your DMs. You have to say thank you to people who are constantly sharing your content.
Sure.
So conversations is the key. So content, consistency, and conversations.
Wonderful, wonderful, excellent, ma'am. So we understand daily post and all that.
Yes.
But do you think there are certain red lines in what you want to post? You want to, but you should post, or you should not post. I mean, what red lines do you draw in your content?
No, there are red lines definitely for everything. So the red lines here are you have to be very responsible with what you're posting, right? So this is not Kaun Banega Crorepati's fastest finger first, right? So without verifying, please do not post things, right? So I want to be the first one to post about this earthquake that has happened XYZ.
Sure.
But do you really know whether it has happened? At what richer scale did the earthquake happen? What is the damage? Because people are going to ask you questions. Since now you posted first, they think you are an expert in that area, right? So you need to verify things first. Of course, earthquake is just an example.
Sure.
But I'm just saying that, you need to verify. Be responsible. Don't post fake news. These are red lines, right? Be responsible. Be respectful. Do not insult people, even if they are completely wrong.
Sure.
Tell them with a lot of factual. Be a fact-finding person rather than fault-finding person. So be responsible. Be respectful of people. Do not spam people. Like you, for example, it may be your birthday. You may have taken 100 pictures, but those 100 pictures, everybody does not need to see. You need to select 10, 20 and post it, right? So don't overdo things, don't go overboard with things that you like. Just because you like, others may not like it, right? It is spamming today.
Yeah.
So these are some of the red lines which come as top of the mind recall.
Sure.
But prominent too, be responsible and be respectful of people.
Desperate, right?
Exactly.
Not look desperate. At times the viral effect can become virus effect as well.
Yes, there's a difference being desperate and being motivated for your content, right? I see today many young content creators actually going public and saying that we would not mind PR packages. Why are you so desperate about PR packages? They will organically flow your way if your content is good enough. Brands will see you, right? You have to be visible to brands, but don't need to go and knock on brands' doors that please send us PR packages. So there's a difference. You don't need to be desperate in all these cases.
So while we are onto this particular
Yeah.
thought, So, do you think what are the 3 to 5 basic and most fundamental mistakes people or the young creators, so to say, or creator at large are making either on their Instagram or their LinkedIn? And what are your kind of quick advice? And
Yeah, so
tips
the
to-
quick advice is firstly they don't understand the platform uniqueness.
Okay.
So if you're available on 3 to 4 platforms, which usually will be the case,
Absolutely.
so you need to understand every platform is very distinct and the uniqueness is very different. Instagram's legacy is in photos and videos, while LinkedIn's legacy is in thought leadership,
Yes.
right? Twitter's legacy, which is now X, of course, legacy is in being your opinionated platform.
Yeah.
So you need to do content repurposing. You cannot copy paste the same content on YouTube,
really
on Instagram, on X, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, because every platform is very unique. Why do people come on that platform? Their motivation to come on the platform is very different, right? So nobody is coming on LinkedIn so that you will wish them a happy birthday or they'll see 20 different photos. But on Instagram, they do come for that. Right?
Yeah.
While on X, they are coming to know your thoughts and views about trending things, crisis, things of national importance, things of political importance. So it's a very different platform there, right? Whereas, for example, for a corporate brand, thought leadership has to be established on LinkedIn because there people are seeing you as a recruitment brand, as a corporate brand.
Absolutely.
But your CMOs and CEOs, personal branding has to be done on X because there they are looking up that Anand Mahindra and what he is tweeting about.
Yeah.
So I think these are some of the mistakes that young creators make often.
So, ma'am, what's your advice on, say, distribution or growth strategy? Now, someone if people like me, or say even the students fraternity for that, they only say 30 minutes a day. So, and they need to start doing something meaningful. So, is there any, kind of a 5 block or 6 block strategy or metrics you would like them to start?
See, firstly, they have to start by defining what will be the key areas of expertise on which content will be created.
Sure.
They need to write it down. Okay, 3 to 4 max, not more than that.
Okay.
So the 3 to 4 key areas that you have established for yourself, they become your guidance for the kind of content you will create and the kind of conversations you will enter into, right? Now, after doing this, let us say everybody has limited time every day because everybody has a busy schedule. And you may not be a full-time content creator. So you may be a student.
Yes.
Like me, you may be a full-time professor.
Absolutely.
So you will have your busy days and you will have your relatively less busy days. On relatively less busy days, I would create a bank of content. So I create a bank of content if I'm relatively free that day.
Yes.
So 6 to 7 reels, which I'll post over the next 2 weeks.
Perfect.
So it gives me a good bandwidth.
Absolutely.
Right? I'm present in all conversations that are relevant to my key areas of expertise. So the kind of handles that I follow, I'm an advertising professor, right?
Sure.
So I follow handles like Mandover Marketing, right? I follow Apple, I follow Ogilvy, which is India's world's #1 ad agency, right? I follow thought leaders in the advertising space. Now my second area is equality, feminism, women empowerment. So related handles I'll follow. So I'm in those conversation spaces, I'm alive. So I'm learning also.
Yeah,
Exactly.
post a lot of content.
New content,
That's
new
it.
paradigms, new perspective.
You feel a part of the community.
Exactly.
Wonderful. I mean, it's a very looks like a stupid question, but I must
That's
ask.
okay.
Okay. There are 90%, I think, or more, are very shy people. Let me tell you, and especially it prevails when you cross a certain age.
Yeah.
Okay. When you are in your middle age or even say 40 plus or so, you become very shy. What if people start judging you? So that becomes like a big roadblock or a speed breaker in your creator journey.
So being shy and fear of judgment are altogether two different.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm just coming on to
Yeah. So I'll answer both.
Yes.
Let me answer both. Okay.
Yeah.
So let me handle the shy part first. Okay. So there are people who are introvert, ambivert, and extrovert, right?
Absolutely.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
You should not force yourself to change to something.
That's
Yeah, it's not you there. It's not you. The authenticity pillar crashes the moment you try to do that.
Absolutely.
So if you are, let us say, shy, or if you are introvert, or if you don't like facing the camera or showing your face on screen, there are n number of creative ways to create your content, right? There are n number of ways. Then you will have to look at the creative side of yourself.
मैम कुछ बता
So for example, you can do voiceovers.
Okay.
You can do running images and voiceovers. You can do text carousels and convert it into a reel,
Okay.
right? You can do landscape videos and create text on it and talk about it. So there are a number of ways of not showing your face, but still using your voice for the connect, for that personal connect, right? So that is how you handle the not facing the camera shy part.
Makes sense.
But the fear of judgment, that you have to cut on the day one, not for social media, for just being yourself in this world.
Correct.
Okay, in fact, I heard this statement in a TED talk that to be you is an act of courage. I want to challenge that. To be you should be the most natural thing.
Absolutely.
How is it an act of courage? To be you, malab, I'm not asking you to be somebody else. I'm not asking you to behave like Falguni. I'm asking you to be you, right?
True.
So it should be the most natural thing.
Absolutely.
And starts from the smallest thing. So you have to question yourself. All the people that you are fearful of the judgment, sabse bada rog kya kare? Char log.
In my last podcast,
Yes.
I actually this literally.
Yes.
Yeah.
So those char log, do they come to help you in your times of crisis? No. Are they available to help when you're overloaded with work? No. In fact, I famously use this statement wherever I go on this topic is that they are not the venture capitalist of your life.
Yeah.
They are not paying your EMIs.
Absolutely.
They are not taking away your car loan and saying that we'll judge you, but your car loan we will pay. Then I'm okay. Let them judge.
Absolutely.
Okay? Then I'm happy. Take away my home loan, take away my car loan. Now sit there and judge me for my clothing choice, for my lipstick choice, for my career choice, for my relationship choice. But that is not the case. So you have to evolve. Till when will you live somebody else's idea of living? Right? And do you know whom we fear from as far as judgment is concerned? It's not only close relatives or people who are of importance to us. We fear judgment from random people, from your security guard.
No.
To you maybe. If I was fearing judgment, what will he think about, how I'm dressed up for the podcast? That is because there's a fear instilled. So you have to cut that down. You only can cut it down. You have to understand it is your life, just one life. Live it your way. And live it your way does not mean you go and murder somebody, right?
Yeah.
Then people will judge you. You're not doing anything criminal. You're not doing anything illegal. You are just living your life your way. That's it.
So does this subtly means that we ourselves create dual personality among ourselves? And one part is saying, oh, what will happen, what you were just saying. The other part wants to do something, but other part is...
Of course, there's always this constant fight within, right? There's always this constant fight. Right from, let us say, relationship issues. Like I want to marry somebody out of my caste. The moment I present that at home, parents, what will people say?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? The moment the child says that I want only 50 relatives to come for my wedding, oh, what will people say? That we cut down on your wedding cost. It's everywhere. So it's always constantly this fight is going on in every age group, every generation. But the moment you come out of this fear, it's so liberating. It's so liberating. No art of living classes will teach you this. You only will have to do it. Right? By understanding it is your life. And you are entitled to take a decision.
Absolutely.
If at the age of a certain age you are allowed to vote for the Prime Minister of this country, can't you take a decision of what to wear?
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely.
So a simple end of the
Exactly.
At times, ma'am, that's why we are having such conversations.
Yes.
Because somewhere the stimulus has to go.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay.
It's
God
let
has
them
set
judge.
to
It's their problem.
Absolutely.
Let them judge. It's their problem.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not yours.
Ma'am, it's time for us to take some questions of our audience. They
Sure.
they
I would
kind
love,
of sent it.
I would love to.
So there is a 20-year-old student named Tushar. and he's from a city of Surat.
Okay, very nice.
So Gujarati मानुष है.
Surat no Jaman.
हाँ, सूरत में जमन. तो ही इज आस्किंग, मैम मुझे 12 हफ्ते में एक पर्सनल ब्रांड शुरू करना है. व्हाट एग्जैक्टली वीकली एक्शन आई शुड डू?
आई थिंक पार्ट ऑफ इट मैंने ऑलरेडी आंसर कर दिया है.
जी
तो 12 हफ्ते में करना है तो 12 हफ्ते का पहले तो प्लान डिसाइड करो.
जी.
Find out what are your 3 key areas of domain expertise.
Sure.
It can be as simple as music. You're a good singer, right? You're a good painter. You are an engineering student working on robotics technology.
Sure.
So robotics technology, singing and painting are your 3 areas.
Sure.
Now for the 12 week, create a content plan, right? Create a content plan which will help you create content every single day. So for every single day, you have to keep creating. Doesn't mean that your personal brand is done.
Yeah.
You just started.
Just starting.
You just started. It takes years to become a personal brand. It's not a 12-week plan.
So 12 हफ्ते तो बिल्कुल बिगिनर ही हो गया ना.
Yes, it is laying the foundation.
But what as per you is like whenever we stop, like we start a business in typically people in Gujarat or even otherwise say first 1000 days are required. Like पहले साल.
See, ये बहुत अलग एरिया है, right? Personal brand, social media is a very dynamic, different kind of a field and depends very much on the human energy that you bring on board, right? जब मैं business के लिए 1000 days बोल रही हूँ, I can give you parameters also. कि इतना invest करना पड़ेगा, इतना करना पड़ेगा, इतने hours आपको देने पड़ेगा, ऐसा आप यहाँ पे नहीं कर सकते. So depends a lot on people to people.
But there is sorry कि यहाँ पे कोई इन्वेस्टमेंट नहीं, आपका टाइम और आपका क्रिएशन इज योर इन्वेस्टमेंट.
Definitely it is. But it is a time.
And the downside is not there. You're not literally something.
Yeah, provided you are not a full-time content creator.
Absolutely.
If you're a full-time if that's your career, then you're losing on your career front. No?
But तुषार तो अभी एक स्टूडेंट है. So from that perspective.
But there are so many. That's why my I think advice to the young people here through your podcast also is that do not look at content creation as a full-time career.
Okay.
Look at it as a side hustle. Then if it develops, then of course good for you. Switch to it as full-time. But always have this, what should I say, एक हाथ में ये stability रखो of a career.
Obviously.
Right? Of a job, or business, a startup, जो भी कर रहे हो. But content creation in the initial phase has to be a side hustle. Then if it grows, dynamically well, exponentially well, then you can switch to it being a full-time.
So it's like,
I'll give you an example. So Niharika NM is a very well-known name on Instagram, millions of followers. She was an MBA student in US when she started content creation.
Okay.
Of course, she became viral overnight. And after 3-4 months, she reached to a stage where she had crossed 1 million. So she left MBA, she left her aspiration to do a corporate career, moved to Mumbai, right? Her family is in Bangalore. She moved to Mumbai and started content creation as a full-time job because she could afford to do that. No? The stability was seen.
So is it safe to say, start it as your hobby, see how it is going and growing, and jump
rather than see many people may think hobby बहुत मैं lighter version बोल रही हूँ, so I'm saying side hustle.
Side hustle.
Right? Start it as a side hustle. Hustle तो करना.
Hustle करना. Hustle तो है, hustle तो है, hustle तो है. So there is another question from Mr. Vikas.
Yes.
He says, I'm 38 years old, mid-career professional, who feels very late to this game.
38 years old, okay, mid-career.
Mid-career. He's saying, I feel little late to this particular game and worried about my age and visibility. So what is the advice for me?
I'm 51. I started at 40.
I'm 50 by
Exactly.
And I just started at 50 by
Exactly. So the age is not a number at all to be looked at. If you're really, depends whether you're passionate about this.
Yeah.
If you're passionate about, this question will not even rise, okay? There are 70-year-old dancers who have created their Instagram journey before 10 years and they're rocking. They are the dadimas grooving to music. Okay, and they're rocking. They're celebrities right now. Age is just a number.
So come out of that.
Passion does not see age. I'm sorry to say that, but passion does not see age.
Last question from our audience, ma'am. He's a small-time business owner.
Mhm.
He's Jayesh, by the way, from Pune.
Okay.
So he's asking ki, what should I stop delegating to agencies
Mm.
and start doing myself when it comes to personal branding?
Interesting question.
Yeah.
So, related to your business pages, you can give it to your agency, right? Agency can do all the handling, content, uploading, answering comments related to your business pages, but your personal handle, you should never delegate.
Okay.
Never ever,
Okay.
right? So, your personal handle on Twitter or your personal page on LinkedIn, only you should handle because it needs your flavor, right? It needs your brain and heart ka kamal.
Understand. But ma'am, and I've seen many people. A, they are very shy. B, they are not technically so savvy. C, they need stimulus or guidance.
Yeah, ऐसे लोगों के लिए भी content has to come from him for your personal page. Content, maybe it will be re-articulated by the agency.
Okay.
है ना, वो अच्छे से draft कर देंगे. So maybe if I am not good at English, तो मैं गुजराती में लिख के दूंगी मेरी एजेंसी को.
बिल्कुल ठीक.
But वही सिर्फ translate कर रहे हैं ना, thoughts तो मेरे हैं. So his involvement is very important in his personal branding journey.
Absolutely. So I would like to summarize this conversation, especially for say students, parents, and even young professionals, ma'am, when it comes to personal brand. So what is the overall 3 to 4 line mantra you'd like
Sure. So today's age, we are fortunate that we are in the age of social media, whereas I said that social media is like your personal billboard. So use the billboard very well to your advantage to create your personal brand. Now, why personal brand is important? Because personal brand will take you where your employer brand will not take you.
Yes.
Right? You're not known only through your employer, or you're not known only through your family surname, but it is your personal brand which will take you ahead. Your work, your areas of domain expertise, what you are known for.
Absolutely.
It will take the reach global level, and that's why personal brand is important. How to create a personal brand? Know your key areas of expertise and let that guide your content and conversation mapping. Okay.
Yes.
So the content has to be created based on your key areas of expertise. Conversation has to be created on your key areas of expertise. And what helps you differentiate as a personal brand is your authenticity.
Yeah.
So you being the genuine connect with your content. So if somebody is following you on Instagram and you have lakhs and millions of followers, one day bumps into you or at an event, should not find two different persons.
Absolutely.
That the person is meeting offline and online. So the persona has to be the same. So authenticity is what will take you further.
Wonderful. So CQ, I think we have
CQ, yes.
CQ
Content, conversations, and consistency. And yes, that is the framework to deal with trolls and abuses and not shrink.
Absolutely.
Not shrink, because it is your happy space that you have created.
Absolutely, ma'am. Ma'am, it's been such a privilege and wonderful interacting with you, being an early stage podcaster myself. As I told you, we run an education finance company.
Yeah.
And just to feel connected with our students, with parents, and even the young professionals or entrepreneurs, it is a humble start to kind of relay such a fabulous insights and the pearls of wisdom, from our esteemed guests like you, and to relay something meaningful, which can create some value so that we feel connected to this fraternity. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Such a wonderful.
Thank you. It's been all my pleasure, and I love sharing thoughts on this topic always.
And on the point team, I'm truly thankful to you.
Thank you.
And keep creating, and more power to you.
My pleasure.
Let's keep spreading more energy, more positive stuff to India.
Yes.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Have a good day.
Thank you.
This was not just a conversation about content. ये बात थी हिम्मत की, habit की और honesty की. Today, Dr. Falbani reminded us that a powerful personal brand is not built in your front camera. It's built in your daily choices, what you say yes to and what you say no to, and how bravely you show up as yourself when the world wants a filter. Dr. Falbani, thank you for not just teaching us branding, but for living it in such a bold, joyful way. If you're a student, parent, working professional, or even a founder watching this, Your homework is simple. Pick one platform, pick one message, and for the next 90 days, show up with consistency and courage, not perfection. If this episode helped you rethink your own brand, do your bit of personal branding right now. Like, share, comment with your biggest takeaway, and of course, subscribe to On the Point with Brajesh, जहां हम हर वीक आपके लिए एजुकेशन, करियर्स, फाइनेंस, पेरेंटिंग और इवन टेक को बनाते हैं सिंपल, प्रैक्टिकल और बिल्कुल jargon free. Until next time, build a brand that outlives your latest reel, from likes to legacy. This is On the Point with Brajesh. Thank you.